Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. Hey, so I'm doing a solo reading right now. There were a lot of questions in the comments regarding this Gulfstream C-37B aircraft that was flying into Moscow the morning or the evening of February 13th. The path of the airplane, it departed Camp Springs, Maryland. It was a U.S. Department of Defense base. It flew to Rotterdam, and then it flew to Moscow. It stayed in Moscow for an hour, and then it flew off to Warsaw, Poland. So it strikes me that clearly something was being transported to Russia. And there's a whole bunch of speculation out there what that might be. My understanding is Libby has a video out there. I've not watched it. I didn't want to see it until after I did my own take on this because I didn't want groupthink or being influenced by Libby because she knows what she's doing and I'm Gary. So some of the speculation is that it's involving diplomatic talks. So maybe there was a diplomat that was being transported. Discussions over prisoner swaps. Could be discussions on the war in Ukraine or question mark, something that is unknown to us and will probably remain unknown to us. So that's kind of where we're at with it. Couple things that are more of the mainstream type of explanations and maybe something that's not so mainstream. I mean, let's face it, we got a lot of crap going on in the United States these days, and I will be shuffling the deck here just because I don't want anyone saying that I stacked the deck, that what I'm doing is just to cause fear and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Seriously, now you've seen me stack it, I've cut it, I might even shuffle it one more time, because I don't want all the MAGA people who mistakenly end up watching these videos to get all their panties all in a twist. Okay, so for entertainment purposes only, let's just take a look at the overall energy around this flight. And, what was the flight crew thinking about this? Entertainment purposes only. Okay, foundation of the reading is the Judgment card. Okay, so we've got a major arcana, the Judgment. They're blowing the horn of truth. Are you going to stand up and take and heed the call, as it were? Challenge is the Ace of Wands, a new action being taken. Good fire energy going there. What we don't see underneath it, Ace of Cups, some strong emotions about this. This is kind of making me lean towards away from a prisoner swap or run-of-the-mill diplomatic talks, because we got two aces. It's a beginning of something. This is something unusual. In the past, we had the Eight of Cups, the emotional walking away. Okay, so I'm thinking about the flight crew. They're having to put their personal feelings behind on this and just, I'm a professional. I need to do my job. Current energy is the Three of Pentacles. This could be the conspiracy card, people working together. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could be just people working together and consulting with each other. This could be talking about what's going on in Ukraine, which would explain why maybe someone in our military would not be happy with maybe transporting someone whose views on the war in Ukraine do not match the majority of Americans' views. The majority of Americans' views, Americans who actually think about this and don't see Vladimir Putin invading a sovereign country because allegedly they're run by Nazis as a legitimate reason to start a war and continue a war. The overarching energy is High Priestess. Ask the right questions, you get the right answers. I need to start asking the right questions, apparently. Once again, it could be Ukraine. It could be something question mark. The lesson to be learned, chaos. Five of Wands, hillbilly brawl. there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. Crazy times that could once again, it could be they're talking about the war in Ukraine. Outcome is the magician manifesting a solution, trying to get something new out of this. A lot of aces and beginnings in this. Right now, my feeling is it's probably not diplomatic talks, and it's probably not a prisoner swap. I'm leaning a lot more towards talks about the war in Ukraine, or maybe there's something else going on. There's always that something else going on. There's, of course, a lot of speculation that Putin might have been helping Trump's campaign in the 2024 election, and Putin has even said as much as, you've relied on, you've made certain commitments and you need to honor your commitments. Now, some would say that his commitment was that, I'll end the war in Ukraine. I'll end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, which he hasn't, because it's not that simple. Because, when you're an adult, the problems become more complex. When you're 7 or 8, problems are simple and it's easy everything's black and white. But, as you get older and you get perspective and you think about things become a little more complicated. And ending a war can be complicated. Not something that can be done in 24 hours. Okay, so as you can hear me shuffling away here. Okay, so let's dive a little more headlong into this. Is this the stop in Rotterdam is kind of interesting. I know, could have been a fuel stop, could have been picking somebody up and delivering them, right? Okay, so let's see. Does this flight to Moscow have to do with the war in Ukraine? And does it have to do with negotiations between the United States and Russia about the war in the Ukraine? Okay. We'll just do a 4-carder. So the foundation of the reading is 8 of Wands. A lot of quick, fast messaging. We feel our hands are tied. We can't find a path forward. We should be thinking about things, contemplate them. Don't act rashly. We got the sword of truth. Finding a new way forward, or finding that solution. And then underneath it, the 2 of Pentacles, that whole balance act that Trump's been doing for several months, telling his MAGA base that he was going to resolve this war in 24 hours, and the realities of, no, it's a little bit crazier situation out there. I can't do that. And it could also be balancing his relationship with Zelensky versus Putin. To me, as I know whose relationship he should be valuing and balancing more, but Trump doesn't think like a normal human being. It's very possible this has to do with talks with Ukraine. Okay, so I would say that those are pretty positive cards for that. All right. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more here. Okay. And then, so let's just see if is there any other ulterior motives why we're making this trip to Moscow. Ulterior motives like, I don't know, election interference, blackmailing Trumpy. We'll see what got. Was there any ulterior motives for this flight to Moscow? Foundation is the 4 of Wands. Yay, we're celebrating your victory. Oh, that's true. Putin invited all the great nations to celebrate Victory Day. And the U.S. has not officially accepted the invitation, but there was some speculation that coincided with Putin's invitation. So maybe this is Trump's way of saying, yes, of course I want to celebrate Victory Day. Here, let me do you some favors. Because I'm the emperor and I have complete control thanks to the Supreme Court of the United States, which made me a king. I won the election, but there is some confusion as to how I won this election, or, whether that election was won illegitimately. Maybe those secrets need to stay secret. And underneath it, you got the hangman looking at things from a different perspective. This is also throwing someone under the bus card. Okay, so looking at those cards, I'd say that there is a very good chance that there is an ulterior motive. A little bit of kissing the ring for Putin, maybe a little bit of a thank you for all you've done for me over the last, 6 months or so. There's a lot of levels to this flight to Moscow. This is not just a simple, let's talk about prisoner swaps. I'm not getting that feel from these cards. I don't know what Libby said. I will watch her video afterwards. Maybe what I'll do is I'll watch the video now, and then I'll see if I want to go in a different direction. So fingers crossed I figure out the pause button. Take care. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just watched most of her video. Couple takes away from Libby's video, and I'll put a link to it in the description for this video. But we pulled a number of the same cards, which is always interesting. Now, Libby does pull a lot of cards, but on this particular reading, she didn't pull out half the deck like sometimes when she gets on a roll. But we were pulling a lot of the similar cards and coming up with similar styles of conclusion from it. Basically, her reading is saying that she's getting the feeling that something was delivered to Moscow that would compromise Trump. And it's basically force him to heel to give Moscow favorable terms in the war with Ukraine, basically resolving that war with Ukraine. And that tends to align with some of the messaging that's coming out of Team Trump these days, that's not very supportive of Zelensky and Ukraine, which I find really offensive. And as an American, I just disagree with it wholeheartedly. I just can't believe some of the shit that Trump is coming out of Trump's mouth. Usually the stuff that comes out of his diaper is now coming out of his mouth. And it's tragic and it's unjust, and I'm not happy about it. Now, I stopped her video because she was starting to go down to ask a question. Was what was on this Air Force airplane information that would compromise Trump? And I didn't want to influence this, so I'm going to ask that. Was what was delivered to Moscow something that was compromising to Trump, that will force him to basically force him to heel and do Vladimir Putin's bidding? In other words, do we have a compromised president? And this, whatever was delivered, has the information, whether it's a person or a briefcase full of documents. Is this what was on the aircraft that was delivered to Moscow? Something that will compromise Donald Trump and put the United States at a disadvantage. Okay, foundation of the reading is the King of Pentacles. This has started moving away from Trump and into more of an Elon Musk type of thing. And Libby also got that card as well. It's right now, Putin is in the catbird seat. Trump has given him everything he wants. He's given him more than he deserves. So this might not be Musk per se, or maybe what Musk found in the DOJ is the information that Putin needs to keep Trump under heel. Now remember, Elon Musk has a very good relationship with Putin as well. The challenge is the Magician. There's that outcome card. The Magician is typically Trump manifesting some end game or some result that no one thought he could actually pull off. So Putin now has the goods. The challenge is Trump has a way of changing the narrative so that he's like made of Teflon, right? That nothing sticks, and that he can convince his very open-minded base that whatever he's telling them is truthful. Underneath it all is the Six of Pentacles. Right now, it looks like Moscow's got all the big chips, and he's just going to give Trump just enough to keep him going under power. This could be, hey, I helped you with the election. You're now president. I need things from you. And maybe I've got those things. Oh, yeah, but no one's going to believe you've got those things. Okay, in the past, there's that King of Cups. She pulled that too. Just, to me, maybe it was a diplomat, someone sitting back, watching this all unfold and keeping their cool, being patient and letting things unfold. Current energy is the Knight of Swords. They're not being patient anymore. It's full steam ahead. Whatever this is, it's something that's shows there was reckless behavior and we're going to charge for it. This could be the whole war on Ukraine as well. I mean, maybe that's the whole point, is he's keeping them under heel to get favorable terms for the ending of that war. Overarching energy is the Ten of Wands. It's the final battle, just dragging this thing home. Putin plays the long game. This may have been, he finally got what he needed to get what he wants. The lesson to be learned, there was decisions. You've got short-term and long-term decisions, and looking out in the future as to how I can get things working in my best interest. There has been a lot of speculation that this shift to the far right has been Putin's doing, because he's been having these little wars and financing little wars and civil wars throughout the world to get immigration moving, to get refugees flowing to other countries. And when these refugees show up, these immigrants, the locals start getting upset because all their tax dollars are supporting them, and now you got all these strangers living in my neighborhood, and you start getting some nationalism, and it seems to be spreading throughout the United States and Europe. The outcome of this, temperance. Oh, that's interesting. I would not have expected this. This is restoring balance. So what was delivered to Moscow Putin thinks he's got Trump under his heel. He's planned it all along. He's been very patient. He finally had the opportunity to charge forward. It's going to bring an end to this war in the Ukraine. And he'd been planning it for a while. But the outcome is temperance. That's actually a good card. I'm not reading it as a reversal. I mean, I could. If you read it as a reversal, it's like, it's not temperance. It's not balance. It's like, I've got everything I want. Twist your wax mustache. I'm not reading it that way. I think inadvertently, this will bring a balance back. There's something about this that maybe it compromises both Putin and Trump. And there's someone else that has this information that can bring them both to heel. It's like a three-way secret. And one person thinks he's got all the cards, and he doesn't. He only has one card of the three. He doesn't have two. And so it could be that third person is the one that brings the balance to this. It's very interesting. I'm sure David's probably going to do a reading on this tonight, so check out what he's got on his tarot, on Tarot by the Bay. I'm not going to finish watching Libby's reading, and we'll sort of see where we go from here. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just got done watching it. So it seems in Libby's video, it's damning information to keep Trump in line. The reading I've got is that it's probably damning information to keep Trump in line, but there's something else there that brings a balance to things. And maybe it could be something as simple as Putin showed Trump how to rig an election, and now we've got the goods that, oh yeah, Putin's been rigging his elections, and now we know how he did it, right? So it's kind of like a Mexican standoff, my pistol and your pistol are pointed at each other, and we could kill each other, or we can just try and get along as best we can. So we'll see how this works out. Anyways, thank you all for watching this. I really appreciate it. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. We put out a new video every day at midnight Pacific time. Leave a comment. I read them all and I respond to many. And today I'm going to give a secret card, because I think our video today we forgot to do the secret card. So today's secret card is the Ace of Cups. And I can relate to this because the Ace of Cups is all about new emotions, very emotional, strong emotions about something new that started. And I know that's how I felt when Trump was saying how basically it looks like he's after Ukraine's mineral wealth. And that, if you just give us some money, some of your mineral wealth money, we'll keep, funding you for this war. And it's just like, that's not how it works. Congress appropriates funds. You have nothing to do with this appropriation. You approve it or not. And if you reject it, then they can override you. It's just... Trump brings out strong emotions. It's just who he is and the lesson we have to learn. So I guess maybe that's the temperance card for me, is be balanced, be calm. Spirit has this. It is all working out the way it's supposed to work out. But man, oh man, this is not a novel I'm enjoying. I just want to skip to the end. Can I get to the end, know everything's going to work out, and then I can sit back smugly and let it all play out? I think I'd feel a lot better. Anyways, I hope you're all having a great day. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.